So you've probably heard of a brand called Kastking, and you might have a preconceived notion that Kastking is bad. And we wanted to make a video to argue with you a little bit.
We want to talk about
disagree civilly.
I think we want to talk about where that perception came from,
Yeah.
and we want to change your mind a little bit because our minds have been changed after, as you guys know, we test products. That's what we do on this channel, Aggressively Average Anglers. This is Jeff, I'm Paul. What we do is we test gear, whether it's kayaks, fishing gear, or otherwise, we test every single thing aggressively, with aggressiveness.
Average skill set.
That's right, baby. And what we've done is we've used Kastking for like the last 5-6 years intermittently. And what we want to talk about—
I was going to say 6-7.
6-7? We want to talk about the evolution of our opinion on this brand specifically.
So to start things out, I will say this. We originally were completely out on Kastking. I had, I don't know, 3 or 4 reels from them. And this was, again, about 6-7 years ago. And they were trash. Absolute garbage. In fact, we made videos about it where we're like, this is garbage.
Don't buy this. It didn't feel right.
So the reality was that they were the cheap reel of the time. You basically had PC Fun, Runkle, similar Amazon brandy type cheap reels. They were designed to be like $20 casting reels and $20 spitting reels. And like basically you can go fishing for an extremely low cost. The challenge that came with that is not only were they cheap cost-wise, they were cheap quality-wise. All of those brands were. So we've owned many of them. PC Fun, Runkle, we've had those. And we've had Kastking from that era. And yeah, they broke down really fast. They were grindy, kind of out of the box. You had to like—
Materials were not great.
Yeah, it was all plastic feeling. It would, you would get torque when you were catching a fish or reeling a fish in.
The tolerances weren't great. They didn't operate that you wanted them to. And that's like the quality side. So you do need to have, I want to be clear, we want to see, and everyone needs to have the cheap, even like below budget option. If that's all, price point. If that's all you can afford, those options have to be available and we want to see them. But what we're talking about is where if you pay $30 or $40 for a reel, there's like a level of expectation that you should expect of quality, and we weren't quite getting there as often as we wanted with the quality side of things from Kastking.
Ultimately, it should have held up for more than just a couple of trips, and we weren't having that experience. Yeah. And then some people in our comments would say they were, and some people in our comments would say they weren't, and that right there is exactly what we're talking about.
Consistent quality is what you want to see. Even at that lower price point, you still want to see it. So that was, and then they also made other things too, right? So they made some accessories, but they were making, at the time, they were making their entry into a market. Breaking into the fishing market when you're competing with Daiwa, Shimano, I mean, like that's—
even Lose.
Lose
you're going up against juggernauts.
That's not an easy thing to do. And so what they said was, look, I can't, because they didn't own their own factory, they had to have another factory, which also manufactures those other brands, right? In some instances, they were saying, hey, can you make me this reel? That factory goes, yeah, sure. But now you have to pay the factory. You can only use the base level designs and equipment and products that factory makes. Those aren't Kastking specific. They're doing the same thing that like a Lose would do, where
it was a copy-paste reel.
Exactly. So you can buy the same one from Runkle, PC Fun, and Kastking. And then Kastking did that for years. But what they did was on the branding side, they marketed themselves in a good enough way to get their foot in the door. They got some anglers hooked on their products. They were able to say, hey, yes, we're the least expensive, but we're getting you into the game. And then if you had a good product that worked for you, they've got you hooked, which is good. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a new competitor. Got them. We're seeing a new competitor, and that's what you always want to see when someone's trying to enter the market. You want to see them do it the right way. So they got their foot in the door, and then I think they bumped up against that perception often enough with the larger community of anglers that were like, look, if you want me to spend $50, $60 on a reel, I don't trust your brand because of what I saw before. I saw lack of quality. You've only made cheap stuff. I don't trust your ability to make really high-end things like reels and rods.
Enter Kastking 3 years ago, essentially. It's been about a
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 year journey, we'll say. But what they did is they have now their own factory.
This is, it's hard to explain how big of a deal owning your own like reel manufacturing facility is. There's only 2 brands that I know of that have that, and that is Daiwa and Shimano, and now Kastking. So now you've got 3 entrants, and what that does, that immediately establishes you as a much more legitimate competitor when it comes to quality and innovation, because you control your inputs, you control your outputs, and when you want to make something super unique that no one else has, you can actually do it because you own the manufacturing facility. That's a huge leap, and like I said, legitimizes you almost instantly.
So over the past 3 to 4 years, we've noticed these differences. It wasn't until about 2 years ago that we decided, hey, we need to retry all this stuff, because we had still had that same preconceived notion, Kastking bad, other brand good, right? And we were like, okay, well, let's challenge that, which is something you can do, right? Like you can, minds can be changed,
well,
okay?
People
can change.
People would tell us, we would say, look, the Royal Legend, the OG Royal Legend, Yes, first of all, that has not changed the price point. I think Tate, the CEO, was saying in like 5 or 6 years or something like that. Some insane. You
held on.
Go check the video, but they protect that price point. When everything else is inflating, they're saying, no, we're still going to give you the lowest possible price point, entry point, but they've increased the quality over time. So they're still protecting that, and they're giving you what customers have known Kastking for. But then now they're saying, we're also going to enter that mid-tier price point with like the Mega Jaws, and then we're going to go even higher to the high price point with the MG, and what Jess got here, the MGT iReel, and then also the iReel, like I just said too, right?
See, but yeah, the iReel, the iReel 2. But you also notice their tagline here is fueled by innovation. So that was a change that occurred about 3 to 4 years ago, where they were like, hey, we can go beyond just being the cheap brand, right? The budget brand. We want to be known for other things. And they started throwing new products into the market, right? So now we get like the iReel.
We get Deadbolt.
The MG12.
So you get products like the Deadbolt, right? This is what makes this unique. It doesn't have any star drag whatsoever, right? So instead of saying like, oh, we'll have this amount of drag and we're just going to pump it up and make this, no, just take it out. Pro anglers are saying, just take it out. That's what I want.
And real.
And boom.
No adjustment needed.
And again, like people would argue, well, we didn't need that or whatever. That's fine. But the fact that they can do that, they're doing something different than anyone else, right? And so if they just wanted to make quality reels, yeah, you could do that. But now you're competing directly with Daiwa and Shimano. I'm just going to keep using them because they're like the two giants in the industry, but also others as well. But you're going to compete directly with them. Why compete directly when you could make something like the iReel that competes with essentially
it's a robot.
No one. This reel has a connected app, allows you to change profiles and how the reel works. It's like 10 reels in one.
You don't have to tune the reel at all. You can say, I'm skipping now. I'm going for long casts now. I'm in heavy wind conditions now.
I'm flipping now.
Yeah, so you can just keep tweaking it like that, and it works with and without the battery.
100%.
So
yes, it still has like the DC style chip, and they have like their own totally different version of the T-Wing system that Daiwa has, and I honestly think it's just as good, if not arguably better, the way that it works.
It was a solid reel.
This is a solid reel, and the concepts are really good, and no one else can do what they do except for Daiwa and Shimano if they wanted to, but because they own their facility and they're choosing to stand like 10 toes, all of them on business, when it comes to innovation, they're going to keep putting things out like the MG. I think that was another reel, so I'll put it up right here. But that's
MG12,
the MG.
and then the MG Tie also, which is an upgraded version of that with titanium and magnesium combined for the components, which is awesome. It's strong and it's lightweight. And we hear you. You're like, these reels are over $200, or some of them, iReel, over $300.
Absolutely.
Do I need that? And the answer is no. But the point is, there's innovation happening, and don't let that and then the bottom end pull you away from Kastiking, because now they have this entire mid-tier market where there's these really affordable reels that are going to hold up for a long time. This is the Skeet Reese Icon, which has become one of our favorite, both on the casting side for 99 bucks and on the spinning side for 99 bucks. You get that metal frame, you get that high durability. It's not super heavy. There's the casting one.
This is arguably one of the best values and bait casters out there. Yeah, it is. Because it's an extremely heavy, durable, reliable platform, and it just operates very well, but you're getting it at $100 all day, every day.
With a unique braking system that is not just basic bottom tier mag brakes, right? They have their own systems that go from the Skeet Reese all the way up to the MG Tie, and it makes casting and tuning and setting them, dialing them in extremely easy, which is really cool to see. They could just phone it in and just make like a regular mag brake setup and charge you whatever the heck they wanted to, like some other brands out there are doing. And then you get things at the midpoint that are, these are $91 to $99. This is the Royal Legend Pro. Not only does it look freaking cool, but it has a great braking system. They're extremely lightweight and they're really fun to fish with.
They're affordable. And look, the color, this is what I love about what they do. They have become very customer focused, and so they said, "You pick the color," and they basically this was like Kastking customer choice on the color, and they said, "Give me the purple bass boat," which I think was a great choice. That's what I would have gone with. So you get bass boat sparkle. Comes in a spinning and in a bait casting, and I really like the way they did the like integration on the bait holder right here, which I actually thought was a good idea.
So you got that right there, which is pretty neat. Comfortable, they got heavy duty grips on these things, so it's a really grippy setup, and they've got 1- and 2-piece rods. So, which is the other thing, because we also have...
Oh, this is my favorite.
They've entered the rod market pretty well, I would say.
I agree.
They've got everything from like ultralight and BFS stuff all the way up to any fishing technique you want.
I will say, before Jeff gets into this, if you haven't tried Kastking yet,
This might get you there.
This is where I would tell people to go start. This combo is $250, which in 2025
it's not
sets
terrible.
the standard for value for a combo.
So again, this is the Skeet Reese Icon. That's $99, but then you get the Asagi series. Now the Asagi is really nice because they have all technique-specific rods in the lineup.
Getting jiggy.
You're getting the split setup. Now it's not all cork. There's actually the carbon butt section there, and then you get the EVA foam inlay with the cork. A little combo, a little hybrid setup, and a very comfortable grip on this as well. And then the simple reel nut.
Highest value one you can get with the most amount of
just
comfort.
like a smooth carbon finish, which is awesome. But the Asagi series we've been fishing for a while. They're $150, which is in 2025 and beyond, kind of like a modern price point, like a value-driven price point for rods.
What used to be for rods is 100, 125. That was value in 2020, 2019.
150 to 180.
Now it's like 150. I think is when you get the most for your dollar. That's what I mean by value. I think you get the most for your dollar. They have less expensive stuff. I absolutely. If you were like, all right, I'm gonna give them a shot. This is one that you can grow into if you're a new angler, and if you're an experienced angler, an everyday tournament angler, these will absolutely hold up for you, no question. So you'll notice the text on like, what lure and line weight and all that, it's printed here in this direction, not like if you're a boat angler, because they know that not everyone is a boat angler. Some of us have to pick up our rods and reels and read them this way, so you're reading it left and right. Like if you're a bank angler, preach, or if you're a kayak angler, it becomes much easier. They're little tiny things that they've done to, again, separate themselves and just do it different than everyone else, which I really appreciate.
And on the more affordable side, they have things like the Spartacus series. They've got the Royal Legend. These are combos that you can get for under $150.
Serviceable.
The rods are much cheaper. Now, I'll give you this. They are heavier.
Clunkier.
And it's a little bit clunky, right? The reels are, the rods are. They have some pretty cool options with those, though. Like you can get a twin tip combo. So you have two different tips on a two-piece rod that you can swap out. So you have essentially like a replacement tip. And then with the two-piece, so I hear you, you're like, two pieces, get out of town.
Calm yourself.
Listen to me for a second. This is a long ferrule two-piece. What that means is you've got your hollow section, your blank section. So then they go into each other like this. Don't make it weird. And then you get this little extended gap section right there. That's for added strength and is gonna prevent it from just flying off as you make casts. I can confirm because we have multiple of these two-piece rods from them, including the Kestrel series as well. And we have cast them 1,000 times, and they do not come apart.
The whole thing with two-piece rods, my favorite point to make is that fly fishermen for forever have been using 4-piece, 10-foot rods that you false cast 10 times before you cast one time, and guess what never happens?
And then you miss.
They don't fall apart, ever. It's just, I don't understand it. I really don't. Thank you for attending my TED Talk on two-piece rods.
Great talk. Get off my stage. I get it to an extent that there are cheaper two-piece setups or three-piece setups that do fall apart, and I would just say, like, you basically just have to get some unbiased reviews from another product that's out there, and we can let you know they don't fall apart.
And or you get the one-piece. The Asagi is a one-piece. They make a ton of stuff in one-piece. Just do whatever makes you happy, but don't be scared of the two-piece. And when you're looking for...
Don't be afraid of the two-piece.
And then when you go, if you need to go way down in price, when you're getting two rod tips, that would be like, oh shoot, I broke it. Thank heavens this was a two-piece, because now I just go grab the other one that was a backup, because what happens with most companies, when you break a rod tip, you're SOL, you gotta get a new rod, you gotta do warranty, whatever.
Here's a discount on your next rod purchase from us.
No, and this one you just have a second one and you're good to go. So I really appreciate that.
I will also say that over the past 3 to 4 years, they have greatly stepped up their customer service. So that's another thing that we would look for any company. Like, hey, what's the customer service like? If I break something, if I have an issue with a shipment, if I have a problem with a product, like it came damaged or something, you want good customer service. And we feel, in our experience and experience of people that we've talked to that are not us with a channel, right? Like us normal consumers. We've talked to plenty of normal consumers and they've had great experiences with them since the last 3 to 4 years.
And
so
their direct-to-consumer website, so like the Kastking.com website, actually operates very well. So I was, I had one of their BFS reels. I was in California, was doing some fishing, and I was casting off, and I was trying to cast something that was way lighter than the setup. So I had the tension knob all the way loose, and I casted it right off into oblivion like a moron. Bye! And so when I got home, I was like, dude, I don't want to go buy another reel. That would be silly. I checked their website. They have a replacement parts section on the website. You basically say what type of component you want, and then you type in the reel, and it came in 3 days, and I think it was $10. And I was like, that included shipping. No one else is doing that like that. So we talk about customer service. It's not just, hey, you called me, I'll take care of you. you need that. We appreciate that. It's the little things like having a direct-to-consumer website where they stock things. The website actually works the way that it's supposed to. They offer you discounts. And if you need a replacement part, you can actually get it.
They do have sales all the time too. But that reminds me of, remember the Abu Garcia that I cast the side plate?
Yeah, the side plate.
Side plate fell off.
Reel.
No.
Oh.
I kept the reel. I had to go to an OEM website. Never my favorite. When you go search the OEM website, sometimes there's like no images and you don't know the name. You don't know the name of the part.
Number.
I'm like, I don't know. Side plate. Revo. What series?
XPLG1C56743.
I eventually found one. It was not the original.
Shut up.
It was just like a cheap plastic version of the original, and I slapped it on, and I still use that reel for another couple years.
Or go to Kastiking, say what it is, get it in a couple of days, $10.
Get the original manufactured part instead of a cheap copy of that.
Right.
I've also had the same, I had to order a new side door for my DJI action camera because DJI doesn't sell those or give you them if you ask for them.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So anyways, lost the side door. I ended up finding the original side door later. I got the OEM side door. They are not the same.
They're never going to be the same. So I guess all that to say, when you think about like 4+ years ago Kastiking to 3.5, 4 years newer Kastiking in the last couple of years.
Night, day.
It is night and day. And
night man. Day man.
And we had to be convinced. Like a lot of you said, hey, you are sleeping on Kastiking. We started getting the product. We started working with the company and getting more product. And everything from the backpacks, like the Hyper Seal boxes, like
this thing?
Yeah. This box right here, like everything has been quality and has held up, is of value. I think some other good ideas, some other things that they've had that we've had success with are their new pliers, whether it's the titanium or aluminum. The backpacks, they are unique. They have unique features. They're not like every other backpack. Like this whole idea that this can be a sling and then you can zipper it open and turn it to a backpack. It's just like little stuff. I'm not saying you have to have all this, but like even just like the scissor combos that they have, they'll be like 30 bucks. They'll come with a line winder and 3 other things.
Oh, you mean this?
Super unique.
Attaches to your rod so you can put the spool right there, set up new line.
Yeah, and like they have the breadth of offering, it just continues to grow, and we keep finding like little nuggets in there where we're like, dude, like the scissors are super good. The line winder works pretty darn well. The rod storage, these like wall half circle
these are
rod
my
holders,
favorite things in the whole wide
they're the
world.
best. They're the best out there. They're incredible.
It's got a spooler built in.
And I get that they're more expensive, but like there's nothing else like it.
$50 for 10 rods. That's
midpoint.
I've bought like 10 different types of wall-mounted rod holders, garage door, ceiling-mounted, freestanding.
Yeah.
These are my favorite by far.
Not close.
They're totally worth the $50.
But like again, everything from backpacks to rod storage to boxes, like we keep having wins. I keep being like, yeah, this is a great option. This is a good option. This is one of the best options. And so there's that side of things. On the real side of things, we keep seeing innovations. And I'm not saying that they're all the best, but they are doing things differently than the other two giant companies. And I feel like we're at a place between the rods and the reels. They hit the high end, the midpoint at extreme value and quality, and then in the low price points, they're holding prices down for you regardless of tariff. You're welcome. And they're just doing this consistently. And I think that's hard to argue with. And then on the marketing side, I think they're moving a little bit away from like the idea of a mega jaws. Like that's just a totally different marketing scheme than like the MG3, right? Or the MG whatever, or the MGL, and different like more techie, high-end, pro angler, JDM style marketing that you get from Daiwa and Shimano, which we love, is great. I'm not saying those are bad, but they want to differentiate themselves. So they're still different, but I think it's maturing. You're seeing something a little that's speaking more to the higher quality, but still speaking to a younger audience, which I think is very important. Let's get those people into fishing. Let's find ways to make it accessible from a cost perspective, and let's do it the right way. Get rid of the cheap. So I think when you think about Kastiking these days, we have seen a huge shift from cheap, just get in the door, all the way to let's provide the max amount of value and give the people exactly what they want.
So bottom line is this, you guys, buy it or don't. That's what we always say on the channel. So do you have to like convert to Kastiking? No, that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video was that we were getting a decent number of comments as we were talking about Kastiking on lives or using the products, where they'd say like, Kastiking's trash. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm curious, what makes you say that? And they'd say, had a reel back in the day. And like most of the time, I either don't get a response, or the response is, I used to have this, it doesn't work, or I have this older model, or I haven't tried their mid-tier or their high-tier products, which to us means you haven't really explored the option, right? So all we're saying, if anything, is this is an argument to potentially consider or reconsider checking out Kastking and trying some of their new products. And if you don't want to buy it first, you can definitely go to an event, maybe go to the Bassmaster Classic, maybe see if there's some there, maybe see if a friend has one.
Watch one of our videos.
Test them out. Watch our videos, watch our reviews, watch us use them over and over and over again. Watch the Asagi combo live in my kayak. I promise you, I wouldn't fish it if it sucked.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
I have lots of stuff that we've tried that sucks. I don't use it.
Yeah, or on the flip side, it's so expensive that while it's extremely nice, I'm not to the average angler going to go out and say, go spend $350 on a reel. I'm not saying
like
that.
my Stratic Great Lakes Finesse combo that's worth $650.
Yeah, like,
you don't need that.
You don't have to have it. Is it nice? Yes. If anyone, I want to have an opinion for when people ask us the question. Yeah, for sure. But if I'm going to recommend somebody a rod and a reel, I want to make sure that, especially these days, food's expensive enough. My grocery bill is insane, and if I know that anglers are looking for that max value, that's what I want to be able to offer people, because that's what the average angler wants. That's why our name is Aggressively Average. I'm not a pro angler, and we don't cater necessarily to pro anglers. So.
Where are you?
Yeah, exactly.
We're the 99% of the population that's fishing right now, not the 1% of I have $120,000 bass boaters.
Royal Legend Pro and the Asagi Skeet Reese combo is you're getting a crazy amount of value per dollar on those combos, and they're going to hold up. And those are the two things that we look for the most: the performance and then the value.
So there you go, you guys. That is our breakdown of new age Kastking.
Not your daddy's Kastking.
Not your dad's. Dad is disappointed in old Kastking. Not with new Kastking.
Gosh dang it!
They don't make them like they used to, and that's a good thing. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see us test this stuff out more, get this out on the water, watch us use it season after season, see how it handles over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, etc. Make sure that you subscribe. Smash that like button on this video and ring that notification bell. And if you want to, we'd love to have you at one of our live podcasts where we talk about stuff like this and we break it down in real time because we talk to you in chat. So jump on in any Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to see you there and talk to you. All right, that's it. We got to get on the water.
Yeah.
We got to test a kayak.
I can hear my dad upstairs. You guys talking about Kastking again?
It's not what it used to be, Dad.
That's the end.
Seriously, we got to go get the water. Get out of here. All right, see you guys later. Bye.